Picture this. It's a hot day outside, it's summer, you're enjoying the warmth, but you're really thirsty. You go, you pick out a beverage, maybe it's a tea, maybe it's a water, maybe it's a beer, and you drink it as fast as you can just to quench that thirst. But not so shortly after, what happens? You get the hiccups. And they're so hard to get rid of once you've got them. So, I wanted to tell you a little bit about what hiccups are, what causes them, and the best ways to get rid of them. So let's talk. Let's begin with, what are hiccups? A hiccup is when your diaphragm spazzes and your vocal cords snap, making the noise. Now, for me, that's the noise I get. My husband, on the other hand, gets these really masculine, growling hiccups, more like, and it's kind of scary. And I say, excuse you, and he said, I didn't burp. So, everybody hiccups differently depending on what your vocal is. That's a nice unknown fact. Anyway, so that's what hiccups are. Your diaphragm spazzes, your vocal cords snap, and you make the most obnoxious noise, and no matter what you do, you can't get rid of them, right? No. But before I'm going to tell you how you get rid of them, I want to tell you a little bit about why we get the hiccups. So, there are plenty of reasons why we can get the hiccups. One, like I mentioned before, we're drinking something, any kind of beverage, doesn't have to be cold, but we don't usually drink anything fast that's hot because we don't want to burn our tongue. So, pretty much a cold beverage, anything from water, wine, beer, anything that you drink too much of too fast can create hiccups. Same goes for food. If you have a beautiful meal and you've been starving all day and you really want to eat fast and you do, you can get the hiccups. Or let's say you're jogging and you stop to take a breath and you swallow all that air in, hiccups. Also, hiccups can be caused by people who have strokes, brain disease, tumors. They're more likely to get hiccups, according to medicine.net. So, those are some causes of hiccups. Let's see. An interesting fact about hiccups. The longest case of hiccups to ever be on the books was 6 decades long. 6 decades. Could you imagine living for 6 decades with the hiccups? I couldn't. I can't even last a few minutes with the hiccups. I have done everything that I can do to try and get rid of them because I, like many other people, get the hiccups all the time. Maybe it's because I'm drinking too fast. Maybe it's because I'm eating too fast. Either way, I get the hiccups and I need a cure. So, I found a couple really good really good ways to get rid of the hiccups. So, number 1. Doesn't have to be Jif, but any kind of peanut butter will do the trick. I know that I get the hiccups. I have to have peanut butter by me. Well, I guess not have to because I have a bunch of brilliant other ways to get rid of the hiccups, but peanut butter is my number 1. Plus, it's full of protein and it tastes delicious. Who doesn't like to have peanut butter? But I've always found that a big spoonful of peanut butter make your hiccups go away. Not into peanut butter, or maybe you're allergic? It's all right. I've got something for you too. I like to fill up a cup of water. Tap water, ice water, doesn't really matter. Doesn't have to be any special water, but it does have to be water. No other beverages will work. Fill up a cup of water, grab a paper towel, put the paper towel over the cup, and more often than not, you should do this over the sink, but you take a sip, and you chug and chug and chug until the water is gone. Now, as you can see, it will get the paper towel wet and it will dribble down you. So like I said, doing it over the sink, probably your safest bet. Another good way to get rid of the hiccups, I don't have the materials here, but I'm happy to tell you about it. Do you have a lemon at home? Do you have bitters at home? I was a bartender for a really long time. Let me just tell you that the number of people that I've seen at the bar get hiccups is ridiculous. So, my trick is you give somebody a lemon wedge, you put a little bitters on it, and you give it to the person with hiccups, or you do it yourself if it's you, and you just suck all the juice out of the lemon with the bitters on it. Gets rid of the hiccups, cures it right away. Now for me, interesting fact, I've had 2 babies. and both babies had the hiccups all the time in utero. It's crazy. It's the weirdest feeling. It's like butterflies are flying around in your stomach. Guess what? My tricks worked for baby too. So they can work for me and they can work for you. Now, if you do experience hiccups that last longer than 3 hours, I do encourage you to see a doctor because something could be wrong. Otherwise, ways to avoid the hiccups? Let's see. Don't chow down as fast as you think you should. Everything is better in moderation. But drink slowly, eat slowly, and hopefully you won't get the hiccups. And if you do, just make sure you have some Jif on standby. Thanks, guys.